So as you can imagine, you're so close that as soon as something like that happens, I do believe there was a delay in the reaction of kind of evacuating this area. So that's kind of like really scary to kind of process in your head. Damn, oh my god, the whole thing collapsed. It's so quiet here right now. So I can see more abandoned buildings right there. This will probably take decades to fix, in my opinion. So is it even really worth it to try and eventually come back to this place? What's up guys, welcome back to a brand new adventure. We are currently in Fukushima, Japan. To be specific, this area is Futaba. This is one of the areas that was mostly affected back in 2011 by the major earthquake and the fallout from the nuclear disaster that occurred here. Now, interestingly enough, I have been wanting to come here for several years. A lot of my friends have been here, Steve Ronan, exploring with Josh, and it's always just fascinated me because all of this area was considered an evacuation zone, and kind of what's happening now is things are starting to change. Just kind of driving in here, I've been noticing there's still a lot of neighborhoods that are still closed off, a lot of closed roads, but there's a lot of construction now, there's a lot of movement, and from what I'm hearing, people are moving back, so it's kind of interesting. But then you look across the street and you see things like that, which I'm going to go over there just very quickly. I'm going to avoid going to too many of the abandoned buildings because the police here are very strict and do not like when people go to explore the abandoned buildings, unfortunately. But what I came here to document is just what's happening now 14 years after the disaster. It's so fascinating to watch. There's a lot of through traffic, and yeah, just check this out. So far, obviously we're in a pretty busy traffic area. I'm not really quite sure what that used to be specifically. I'm actually just trying to get across the street without getting hit by a car. It kind of looks like, I don't even know, like an old, it says books, video. So I guess they had books and videos? I don't really know. You got buildings like that are just completely destroyed now. Like they're actually knocking things down. Apparently there's a memorial up this way. Let's just walk up the road. I'm gonna just leave the car there for now and come back. We're gonna explore a bunch of different areas around here because I'm just so curious. I've always wanted to see kind of what's going on now in a lot of these places. We got a Subaru over here. Is it an active Subaru, or I guess it's an active Subaru? No, there's just like boxes of stuff everywhere. Well, that's interesting. It looks like it's not even an active Subaru. I don't know. I'm really unsure. One thing I've also noticed is that no one's walking around. Like there's no people in this specific area like actively doing anything. Oh, I think this is slated for demolition. That's usually what that symbol means. But there's a memorial just up this way, and I don't think too many people actually died, at least not yet, from the actual disaster itself. I do believe some of the employees at the actual plant passed away, unfortunately, from the initial impact of the earthquake, which was huge. I believe it was a 9.0. This looks to be the memorial. Found it. It's kind of like in a very random place. I believe this is it, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna double check Google Maps, but I believe that's the memorial. But remember, when you do have nuclear fallout, it doesn't mean everyone's gonna die immediately. It means in the future, people will die because nuclear radiation, just kind of like what happened with the firefighters and people in Chernobyl back in the day. Those people unfortunately got sick and passed away. So one thing I'm noticing too is a lot of the buildings here now look brand spanking new. Like there's like I think that's a gas station. It's a brand new gas station, but if you just kind of like listen, you just hear a lot of machinery working on buildings and stuff. But we're gonna roam around, see what else we end up finding. I literally should have just parked right here, but then I saw that abandoned building, and I'm just like, oh, what is that? There's a lot of that here. So it looks like there's new stuff, but there's still a lot of stuff that has not been demolished. I'm assuming it's probably all gonna get torn down, because when the debris from the fallout actually fell on the buildings, it was, poisonous. Like, you don't want to be touching stuff that has radiation on it. I'm also just kind of processing this now. I don't know why I didn't realize this earlier, but this actually used to be a property, it looks like. There probably used to be a house or something here, and they had to tear it down. Damn, look at that. So there's a store here. This is the store that I was showing you guys just a few moments ago. It looks like someone smashed the window and basically ransacked the place. Now, like I said, I don't really intend on going into anything, but just kind of looking from the outside. Look at that. Literally, everything is still here. Wow. Literally from 2011. That's crazy. Let's see what's on this side. Doesn't look like much, but yeah, it looks like a lot of the stuff is all stolen. It's all gone now. It's crazy. Okay, so the area back here, I think that this is all completely abandoned. We have to go back there. Just gotta take a look. I saw someone drive in, but they went in that direction. Let's see. As long as we can drive in.
150 meters, turn left.
I really want to take a look. I don't see anybody around. There's a little cemetery here. Oh, that's kind of cool. All right, what if let's just park here and we'll just go for a little stroll up the street. All right, so I got a little cemetery here. I decided I'm just gonna hoof it for now and we're just gonna observe from a distance, but I remember doing some research and I found that there was like a school, tons of houses as you can see, and there's just no one living here. It's the wildest thing. Yeah, see? Like there's that whole side looks like it's destroyed. It's so quiet. And I did mispronounce the area. It's actually Futaba, but you understand what I mean anyways. Yeah, there's pieces of machinery back there. Look at all this. Oh, there's like a temple back there. That is so cool. I think. Wait, this whole thing might be... Oh yeah, it is. It's all a temple. I don't know if I can like walk in. There's no one around. Like I can't even ask. The door is wide open right there. Wow. Well, we'll see on the way back. This house over here looks completely brand new. Damn. Oh my God, the whole thing collapsed. It's so quiet here right now. Wow. This is crazy. There's another temple there, but that one still looks like it's pretty well maintained. It's creepy because it's just so eerily quiet. So I can see more abandoned buildings right there. And then you've got like one basically brand new house. That's kind of funny. So I'm assuming that maybe the land is probably pretty cheap to buy here now, considering there's not too many people who have moved back, realistically. Damn, look at this. Just absolutely in tatters at this point. Here's something. Might be somebody in there. There's cars back here. Well, I can assure you there's definitely no one living in this building. I think it's a house. I'm trying to take a quick peek in there, but keep in mind I'm trying to be very cautious as well as to police, and I just don't really want to get in trouble. Not today. I think the funniest part about this whole thing is that legit all looks completely abandoned, and then you have two brand new machines offering drinks that are running. I'm not sure what this building is, but there's obviously people working there, I guess. Then you have this family shop Wataya. Doors are all closed. The S is over here for some reason. Like, what the heck? I'm trying to figure out what these buildings over here are. Wow. It's so sad though. The buildings themselves look really cool, but just all basically destroyed for the most part. From being neglected for 14 years. That's literally all it takes sometimes. I don't know what's back there, but everything's still in there. Old soccer ball. More buildings here. An old bus stop that looks like it hasn't been used in probably forever. There's a really big building back there. I think that might actually be like a school or something. But we're gonna head in that area. I'm just gonna keep walking for now because might as well. That looks like it might have actually been like a police station or something. Possibly. Look at this. Not a person in sight. Yes, there's cars driving through, but there's still no one around. Like, this has everything in it. I'm gonna actually go down this way first. Yeah, I'm not sure what this was. This looks like it might have been... Actually, it might have been an old fire station. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it was. It literally was an old fire station. You still see the helmets are still there. Look at that. An old jacket, I think. Imagine the panic coming out of this place on that day. Wow. Not sure what this was. Probably an old restaurant. The couches are all still there. Or maybe, actually no, I think it was just a house. There's a bike back there. So, main reason I'm not actually going in any of the buildings, because last year I was told, because I was actually intending on coming last year, and I was actually told not to do it, or at least be extremely cautious, because apparently somebody came and went inside some of the buildings and tripped some alarms, ended up getting caught, and I think they ended up in big trouble. I think they ended up in jail for like about a month. Well, I think this is a school. I think it might be the school. There's a lot of warnings not to go in, but I was also hearing something back there. It sounded like somebody was moving something. Oh, it's just a piece of the roof. You guys have no idea how much I really want to get close up to these buildings, but unfortunately, we just can't do it. Honestly, we also don't really have the time. Just kind of observing from a distance. Damn. Yeah, they're gonna demolish this too. This is crazy. There's just buildings everywhere. Everywhere I go, there's just more and more. Imagine this this whole area just would have been hustling and bustling with people walking around, living their daily lives, and then that happens and that's it. I'm wondering what this building was. I don't really know. Looks like some sort of maybe a medical building of some sort. Oh, there is a wheelchair. Looks kinda empty, other than one creepy looking wheelchair. I do believe that this used to be a school. Unfortunately, we can't go in there. Oh, damn, scared the crap out of me. Damn. This looks like it was probably a house, and the antenna's completely fallen. There's an old bike just sitting there. This house over here is shifting. Damn. You can clearly see there's like stuff in there. Probably everything, to be honest with you. There's an old liquor store right across the street. Oh, look at that. There's a little car. Oh, that's so cool. Look at this thing. That's awesome. I don't even know what kind of car this is. If anybody knows, leave it down in the comments below. So I'm peeking through the window. There's literally everything is just sitting in there. Wow. Alright, well, I found the little sticker here. It's a Fukushima Subaru. So this was probably purchased a long time ago. It's so dirty. But this was probably purchased a long time ago at the dealership that we kind of started off at. That is like awesome. I absolutely love this. That is so cool. Wow. This is kind of what I'm talking about. They're doing a lot of construction, I guess, on some of the old buildings. That looks like one of the old buildings anyways. So they are fixing things slowly. It's just taking time, obviously. But I think I'm going to start heading back, and we're probably going to go check out a few other areas. So what's kind of interesting to note too, and I think I saw it kind of on the way in here, driving down the highway, I could see these really two tall stacks, and I think that was the power plant, if I'm not mistaken. That could have been something else, but the power plant is only 13 minutes away from here. So as you can imagine, you're so close that as soon as something like that happens, I do believe there was a delay in the reaction of kind of evacuating this area. So that's kind of like really scary to kind of process in your head. So here we have a clinic. But in all honesty, I don't know if it's actually operational or not. It's just so quiet, like there's literally no one around. So that building, I believe that used to be an apartment building, and I guess they've cleared it all out and they're fixing it. Then we have whatever this is, I don't really know. It's quite pretty actually. Oh, it's I believe it's a medical building actually. Very cool. It's probably one of like this side is probably one of the only spots that actually has maintained buildings at all. Check this out, I was walking through here and I'm like, oh, there's a driveway, so there must have been a house, and there's literally a house just right back there. It's so overgrown you can barely even see it anymore. So back there, I know it's kind of hard to really tell because there's so many bushes and trees and stuff, but that is another school back there, and doesn't look like it's been in use at all since. And that's pretty much it for this spot. One thing I'd love to do if possible is I'd like to talk to somebody local, maybe somebody who was here when it all went down, possibly when they maybe left and then maybe came back. It would be interesting, like what would have convinced you to want to come back? Obviously, I understand that it's home, but it's like there's really like not a whole lot going on. Even though there's a bunch of construction sites and it's obvious that they're trying to rebuild, this will probably take decades to fix, in my opinion. So is it even really worth it to try and eventually come back to this place? So I came back towards where the car was, and there is more to kind of see over here. There's like a big house right there, rather large house if you ask me for Japan, and it's just completely abandoned. You can see there's tons of stuff still in there if you look at the upper floor there. And then you have like kind of newer buildings down this way, it looks like. But I really just wanted to kind of take a look at this because it's quite a beautiful house. So I wonder, like, I gotta look it up. I wonder what like the rules are if you did decide you wanted to come back. Like, do you have to tear down your old property? Is there a certain process to doing that? Oh cool, there's like a little carport here. And then you'd have to rebuild a brand new house. Is that the way that it works? I'm really not too sure, but it would be kind of fascinating to know. It looks like all the people, there are people over here, but it looks like everybody who's kind of here still, right at this moment, is like basically workers, like people who've come to actually tear down the old houses and build up the new ones. I can actually walk down this way. There's like an old carport just sitting here. There's another building directly behind that one. Let's go down this way and see what's down here. Well, even in a mostly abandoned city, you can still get yourself coffee. Cold coffee. Heck yeah. Awesome. There's laundry money for later. Well, looks like there's a bunch more buildings literally just over here. All falling apart completely. Wow. That is crazy. Damn. Look at that. That's crazy. You have active security. They're like watching me right now. Don't worry, I'm not going in any of them in case you haven't noticed, because I know you're around. That is so funny. Do they think I would even be stupid enough to try it? At this point, really? I mean, it would be cool to like just walk right in there and take a look at what's in there, but with those guys roaming around, it's definitely not worth it. Holy crap, though. Wow. Like, everything's legit, just like wide open at this point. Another building here, bunch of bikes. Maybe it was a bike shop or something. And then I imagine the people probably lived up there. Whoa, almost fell. Oh, this is cool. Rock River. I'm not really sure what this would have been, but probably old. Oh, it's like a little restaurant, I'm guessing. It's kind of what it looks like. Wow. There's another house, I guess, with there's little cars back there. That's pretty cool. Very old. Those cars have been sitting for some time now. This house is just completely destroyed. What a mess. More houses over here. Another thing there. It's just endless. You could probably just keep walking up this road and you find tons more buildings, and then there's something new over there. I don't really know what, but this looks like it might have actually been another restaurant or something. More homes on that side. Let's see if we can get an idea of, holy crap, this whole thing is just completely coming down. A lot of stuff stored in here. Wow. There's like a little temple or something over there too. So another house behind that wall. Can't really see much of it, but you got the rest of the street down here, and some of it actually kind of looks active, but we're getting further and further away from ourselves now. It's nice to see that the temple was actually kind of maintained. This wasn't abandoned. I mean, temples here are very sacred, so they probably came back soon after to make sure it was not wrecked. Actually, there's no water in there. That's interesting. Well, it's still very beautiful, though. At least they're maintaining the building as best as they possibly can, I suppose. I mean, realistically, under the circumstances, considering probably very few people actually come, and they're still taking care of it, but I'm gonna go back, grab the car again, and then I guess maybe we can head down this way, or there's a bunch of different areas that I wanted to kind of see as well. So before we actually end up leaving, I just kind of wanted to walk into here. I mean, these are usually public places, since they're temples, of course. That is beautiful, though. That is really freaking cool. Wow. Such a shame, though. Look, all the pieces from, like, the roof. I'm guessing it was Buddhist? Huh. Very interesting. And last but not least, we have this little cemetery here. Now, if you'll notice, there is actually another cemetery. It's actually back there. It's a much larger one. But the one thing I notice is that there's no offerings. Nothing here to say that anybody's been here anytime recently, at least. It's kind of like it's just all been left and forgotten, really. And these are not very old either. Yep, not even a single offering. That actually broke. Damn. There's one in here, actually. I don't know how recent that's from, but that's pretty much the only one. Wow. Okay, so we are currently on the move. There are other abandoned buildings, but like if you kind of just look around, there's a lot of new reconstruction or reconstructed buildings. So they've actually done quite a bit. It's not like what you would expect, everything completely abandoned. There's a lot, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of neighborhoods that still need to be fixed, but there's a lot of stuff that's all just brand new. Alright, so, oh man, I can't actually go to it? Damn, that kind of sucks. Maybe we can walk alongside it. Okay, so I have something to show you guys. I know my hair is kind of crazy right now. But basically, there's this building here, and it's kind of been now used as like a memorial building. I actually thought that we could like basically go all the way to it, but unfortunately we can't. But there's this. I'm guessing this probably got destroyed during the earthquake, but still standing, which is kind of cool. The cool part too, I don't even know if like I can go up any of this, but there's like this giant seawall. You can kind of see it from here, and yeah, unfortunately we can't really get to it. I really wanted to get to the ocean, but I guess that's not going to happen. Well, this area kind of threw me off. I didn't really know what to expect here. I thought that you could actually access the waterway area from here, but it looks like unfortunately you can't, so we might just have to send up the drone. Alright, so this is what I was referring to. You couldn't really see it that great down in that direction where the memorial building thing is. But this thing is massive. I assume I can walk up there. I don't see anything that says I can't. Let's go on up here on a little bit of an adventure, I suppose. So I did see the security. They were kind of exiting. It was literally like the same two guys that were in the other area as well. So clearly they roam back and forth. And they just kind of like waved to me because I moved over to let them go through. Oh wow, this is freaking cool. Whoa. So this seawall, you can see kind of where it goes around. I'll show you in a second. But it is massive. Like this thing literally goes on for a fair distance, kind of in both directions. And when I sent the drone up, you can actually see where the nuclear power plant actually is located. This is freaking awesome. This is so cool. So I'm legitimately standing on top of Japan's seawall that I don't know if I'm even actually allowed to be up here, but there's nothing that clearly states I cannot. Damn, look at that. That is the ocean. You know, I actually picked like the perfect day to come here, to be honest with you guys. This is freaking epic. Wow. Oh, so this is like a little tree farm. That's cool. Yeah, the other thing I've noticed is a lot of this area is all farmland. So here you can see obviously they're growing a bunch of trees. Damn. This is really cool. So we are running out of daylight, so I can't be out here forever. What I do want to go to is there's an elementary school, like ruins. Apparently it's like a museum now. Had I got here earlier, I probably could have gone, but it is like a 3.5 hour drive from Tokyo just to get here. So smash the like button for a lot of driving. just to do this video. But it's okay, I've always wanted to come here, and you know what? We can finally say I can cross this off my bucket list. But wow. Like I said, I have no idea if I'm even actually allowed to be up here. Whoa, this is cool. So this is an old elementary school that I guess it's considered ruins now, so I'm guessing it was pretty well destroyed by the earthquake and probably the tsunami as well, I'd imagine. It looks empty, but you can actually come during the day and I think walk through it. I guess it's structurally sound enough to do that. But like the proximity to the ocean, which is literally just over there, I'm trying to see if I can find access to the beach, but I haven't found it yet. But kind of cool to take a quick glance at it. Yeah, it's pretty well empty, it looks like. Looks like a lot of the areas are just completely caged off. Damn. Yeah, she got messed up good, didn't she? Wow. Huh. Okay, so I have to point this out, but I just realized what this sign right here is pointing at. So it's showing the date, 2011, March 11th, which the anniversary actually just passed. And that line, I believe, is where the water line actually would have been. That's crazy. That is a lot of water. Wow. Okay, so this is really funny. So pretty much like everywhere you drive to that claims to go to the beach doesn't actually go to the beach. And it's kind of annoying because there's no like direct drive-in access. And I understand because they have to put this gigantic seawall here. But oh my God, I keep turning into spots like this, just like this one, and then realize, okay, well, we can't go anywhere else. And then you have this on one side and then that on one side. Now I got to turn around and go back. Damn, it's just so quiet out here. Like there ain't much going on, that's for damn sure. But I wanted to give you guys a glimpse of what the school looks like from the front. It's a really cool looking school, actually. It looks like such a fun place, but unfortunately it's probably never going to be in use ever again. So I do have a couple more points on my map, but the problem is we're running out of daylight real quick. I should make it to them ideally before the sun completely sets. I really wanted to go to the beach, but it appears like I just can't gain access to the beach around here. But yeah, I'm going to figure out what's next after this. But it's kind of crazy after coming here because my input on this is that I do remember still when this happened. And I'm like, oh my, it's like Chernobyl all over again. Now, I wasn't even alive when Chernobyl happened, but when this happened, I had already familiarized myself with a lot of the history about what happened with Chernobyl and the fact that literally like half the freaking world could essentially die from a disaster like this. And it's pretty crazy. Now, obviously, this was just kind of partly a natural disaster that made this whole thing happen. And knowing a lot about the history about what happened at the plant itself, like people legitimately, a lot of the workers went in and sacrificed themselves to actually save their own people, their own country, and realistically a lot of the world. So that's kind of crazy to think about. I know it was like quite a long emergency situation that had occurred over here. That's kind of cool. I actually see like a little shrine down there, but yeah, it's interesting to finally come and visit. Now there's not a lot left. A lot of it, like I said, has been reconstructed, or they're in the process of reconstructing it, which is kind of interesting to see the whole process. But yeah, in my opinion, this was definitely worth it. Scratch it off the bucket list, and we'll continue on exploring today. We still have a little bit of daylight left, and then we got to head back to Tokyo, which is going to be a long freaking drive. Well, I figured before we go all the way to the other side down there, we might as well see the coast here from a different vantage point. It's pretty cool. There's a little temple down there. There ain't much going on over here. There's a few boats, which is kind of cool. And that's pretty much it. The landscape is really beautiful out here, I have to say. It's so chill. The one major difference, and it's kind of nice, is getting away from all of the noise from Tokyo, because it can be very overwhelming. Anyway, enough of this side. Let's hop on over to the other section of Fukushima. Fukushima, people don't realize, they think it's like this one small little area. Fukushima Prefecture is actually massive. Like, it goes on for a while. But this was the main area that was really heavily affected by what happened. So driving up this road, you definitely see a lot more abandoned. There was a lot more back the way I just came from as well. But a lot of times there's nowhere to stop, but there's also a lot of neighborhoods that look like they've just never been fixed. Like, you still cannot drive through them. I'll see if I can find any to show you, but it's pretty fascinating. So here are some neighborhoods that you cannot go into. There's like a whole bunch of buildings back there. And a lot of the roads are just completely blocked off, still to this day, 14 years later. Damn. Like, this whole right side is just completely abandoned. No access. There's even more right there too. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. Just driving through like random areas. There's a lot of randomly closed roads that you cannot go down. And then there's buildings like this. I'm not going to go in it. I just kind of wanted to stop and take a look. I don't even really know what this is. Is it a house? I have absolutely no idea. Maybe an old restaurant or something. No specific way of knowing, but yeah, we just, every road I go down, you just end up finding more and more little spots that are probably eventually just going to completely disappear, since they're, you know, obviously just tearing everything down at this point. We're almost done here. There's basically 1 to 2 more locations that I really wanted to see. And then after that, we're just going to basically head back to Tokyo. But yeah, this was definitely an experience. Literally just turn the corner and there's another one right there. What else is down here? I don't even remember what destination I punched in, but looks like a pretty interesting spot. Looks like there's even more down here. Well, it looks like there used to be a bunch of stuff right there, and they're all gone now. There's a few houses and whatnot down here. I don't even know if we can go through here. Let's find out.
Take the next left, then your destination will be on the right.
This looks like another entirely abandoned neighborhood. Holy crap. Oh, I guess I punched in the cemetery. Apparently, some of the workers from the plant, I believe, were actually buried here, if I'm not mistaken.
Huh. Your destination is on the right.
This one looks like people do actually come still. Well, I don't even know why I punched this in, but okay. What if we go take a look at whatever's back there still? Yeah, I think most of these are abandoned, except maybe that one. I can't tell if this one is too, but you can tell because they're obviously, like, I mean, part of the wall is missing on that one. I don't even know if you guys can tell. Also because a lot of the lights are off. I guess I can go down this street. Damn, I cannot believe we found another completely abandoned neighborhood. Wow. This is freaking nuts. They're literally just pretty much everywhere at this point. And again, probably all gonna disappear very soon. This one looks really cool. I have no idea what this is, but let's get a little peek over the fence there. Is it a house? I think it's a house. Looks like a house. Looks really freaking cool. That, I don't know what that is. That's definitely another old house. Wow, man. This is a lot to take in, to be honest. But alright, I think I'm gonna get a move on here. I actually had something really fun planned. Hopefully I can make it back in time. I mean, it's sort of like a late night thing in Tokyo. It'll probably end up on the vlog channel. Basically, we're going to look for a underground kind of Tokyo style car meet. Lots of cool JDM cars, so I want to make it back for that. I was hearing a weird clunking on the car. I hope nothing broke. I guess I'll film it if something did, but looks like we're okay. But yeah, Fukushima, my gosh, like what a crazy place. I'm glad I finally got to do it before everything's kind of just completely demolished, because that looks to be the case very, very soon. And it's unfortunate, you know, it's part of history now in Japan, but I guess we'll see y'all later. Subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. Don't forget to smash like button, and thanks again for watching. Love you. Bye-bye. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are at one of the most famous car meets here in Japan, in Yokohama. I think the area is called Dokaku, is that what it's called? I think. It's like a parking area.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a problem though. I think the cops are trying to shut it down. There are like a few cars, so I'll show you what we have, because... No, don't leave! Don't leave! Where are you going? Damn. What the hell, man? So far, this is probably the lamest car meet I've ever been to.
Not great. Yeah.
No, it's not good. And it's not for the lack of cars showing up, because there are cars showing up. But I'll show you guys what I'm talking about in a second. Back there, there's a cop, and there's like another car somewhere else kind of blocking the entrance to where I'm guessing all of the cars usually park. So there's not really much going on here. There's the odd car kind of just pulling in and out. How you doing? Yeah, that's our situation right now.
They cut off the area, so we're gonna run out of space. I think there's only like maybe 10,
like a few, and they're technically truck parking area. So it's not really great right now. That's funny. Shad would love that. That would be his like go-to daily. Okay, so yeah, this kind of killed the vibe, but we'll wait. We'll wait and see what happens. Well, at least there's a Fiat. Fix it again, Tony. There's a couple other ones over here, at least.
Yeah. There's a few things.
Yeah.
Might not be like a full-scale.
No, I guess not.
For whatever reason.
That's unfortunate. Well, we got the one guy who's sticking to his guns. He ain't going nowhere. Oh, okay. So if we just stand here, at least we could just see them passing through. But based on what we know, is normally the whole parking lot is just filled with like all kinds of different cars. I've seen like 2 Ferraris come through already, and I don't know how long the cops are gonna stick it out and make everybody maybe leave. I mean, it looks like somebody's coming over. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna start telling people to get lost? Oh, this is funny. Yeah, we got another car coming in. There's like a whole group of would-be spectators. I guess they're just waiting around. Even the Lawson kind of sucked here. It was kind of disappointing, to be honest. Lacking.
I mean, during the day, there's probably nobody here. So
probably.
Don't get shipments in, probably.
I guess so. I don't know.
A little bit sparse.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got another one pulling in. This is quite disappointing if this doesn't happen. I mean, we could wait a little bit, but Andrew's got to work in the morning, and I don't feel like waiting here for like 3 hours to see like what happens. So
I've been here for like at least half hour already.
At least, yeah. So we'll give it like 20-30 minutes and just kind of see what happens. Otherwise, unfortunately, it's a bust. Well, we got one S2000, just one. Normally there'd probably be like 20 at least, bare minimum. Well, at least all the bikes have somewhere to park. Just because you could literally fit like 5 of them in one spot. You guys ruined all the fun. All of it. Well, and that's all, folks. That's all she wrote. Guys, this is exciting. There is another Prius. I am not alone. Prius boys for life. Although it's only temporary. So this guy apparently just bought this car. It's a Mini. Those are nice. I like those. Fancy. Yeah, I think we're kind of SOL on this one.
Yeah, I don't think it's big.
Yeah, no. Well, the cops are not moving, so I'll wait maybe 10 more minutes, and then I'm out of here, I guess. We'll just go to bed early. All right. Well, we got a couple more showing up. Got a Ferrari. We got a red Toyota Tercel, I think that is, I believe.